Let's go through different ways of copying an array. So here I have an original array of type int and it has the following values in it. One way to do it is by using a reference copy, which is again, you declare the array to be the same type as the original and then give it a name, which has to be different than the original name. And then just over here, point what is equal to, so the new variable name is equal to the original, which is up here. And how I would think of this as is, imagine you have a toy box and in the toy box, you put a toy in and then your friend comes and accesses the same toy. And then you put another toy in. Again, your friend puts the hand in and they find the same toy that you put in. Now, let's say you take out a toy. So you remove this toy over here. If you remove this toy over here, then when your friend puts in his hand, he won't find that toy there. And this is how I would think as reference types. Reference types are like a toy box that is shared between two friends. Both of them can see what's in it or what's not in it. But now imagine you want actually two separate toy boxes. Now you have your box here and then another box here. So you have one toy in here, two toys in here, but your friend has only one toy in his box, or he may have three toys in his box. And notice when he adds a third toy in his box, it doesn't appear in your box. So your toys are different to your friend's. So when you put your hand in your friend's toy box, you'll find there are three toys. When your friend puts his hand in your toy box, he'll find that there are only two toys and they are not the same. So that's what is known as deep copy. So this is one way to do it, is basically you declare your variable again, same as before, and then you set its length to be that of the original, which is 1, 2, 3 elements in here. And then what you do is, using the array class, you use the static method, that is always available, and you give it the original array name, then the new array name, and then the length. Of course, this is interesting because you could give it a length that is less than the original, so it'll only copy, for example, 2 elements for you. And another way to create a physical copy is by using the clone method here. So again, you just declare your variable as it is, and then you convert your original array over here and clone it. And then the last method using link. So here, what you do is again, declare your variable date type and name, and then do original.ToArray. And this is one of the simplest methods of copying an array. Basically, you don't have to remember the complex syntax here. You can just use original.ToArray and that would make a copy. So the link method is the easiest method. So if I run this program now, this is the original value, which is 99, and the reference value is 99. This is because, although it's 1 in here, but what happens is I change the original value here. That's why for the reference copy, you see 99. Now notice I take all the other deep copies or hard copies before I change the value to 99. So what it does is it keeps the original values for those because they are deep copies. And that's why you can see for rest of them, it keeps the same value as it originally had. But of course, if we change the original value here, the only one that's affected is the reference type, because reference type, like I said, is one toy box being shared by two friends. So I hope this makes sense in terms of taking copies of the array and the difference between a reference copy and a deep copy.